right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with my man Montavious Ware. Once
It's good.
again,
It was good.
DBX6. We're coming up Miami, Florida, April 10th. The co-main event in your second fight against Luis Saldana. Talk to me, man. I mean, Miami, last time you fought was in Nashville, closer to home. Fight week's headed, kind of getting closer here. You're in the
Yes,
co-main
sir.
on a big card right before UFC pay-per-view in Miami. I don't know if you realize that. But what are you thinking? How's it? How you feeling? How's camp? How's everything going?
First of all, thank you for having me. And Camp been amazing. It's just an amazing experience and just a dream come true to be a co-main and a fight a former UFC fighter. So it just with a bigger background, it'll be able to let me show my skills even more with a top competitor. And I'm just excited to fight in Miami because I've been in Miami once, but just for training. But now, like I can show my skills in Miami to a big crowd.
Yeah, talking about the crowd, I mean, DBX did their first, I'll say four events, right? They did the private event, which was closed to the public. That was sort of a trial. Then they did the first three public events in Miami. DBX4, obviously, your debut goes to Nashville. And then we went to Houston, and now we're going back to Miami. But what's different about this, and again, I don't know if you realize this, but when you talk about Luis Saldana being a UFC vet, of course, highest up on the card, the Wolf and Michael Garcia on the headliner there for the interim championship. There's a UFC pay per view the night right after DBX6, right? Obviously,
Right.
John Jones, Mike Perry in the house. I'm assuming the promotion is that was a strategy, right? There's going to
Mhm.
be people in town that are part of that crowd, so there's an opportunity for people to say, "Hey, I don't really got nothing going on Friday night." UFC doesn't have any fan engagement kind of activities later in the evening on Friday, so maybe people will buy a ticket, a meet and greet with John Jones, potentially meet Pike Perry, come to a more intimate kind of combat event for something that they might be interested in. Because theoretically, if you're watching the UFC, dirty boxing should be in your wheelhouse minus the grappling.
Right. And we
For
got a lot of
you,
name.
yeah,
We
go
got a
ahead.
lot of
Sorry.
big names on the cards too, like a lot of influencer, real fighters though, but a lot of influence. And then we got the bare knuckle guy. So it's a
Yeah.
lot
Oh
of
yeah.
big names on the card too. So it's just amazing.
Yeah, man. And the return of Milos Janicic. Yeah, obviously he's a guy that's been a star for them. So for you as a talent, obviously, like I said, you come on the scene. DBX4 have a really stellar performance against an MMA guy, but you come from boxing, so you still kind of figuring this out and what place each different discipline of fighting has in DBX. For you, I know, like you said, and what you've shown is that boxing seems to be that base. But when you
Yeah.
think of the potential to sort of capture some of those UFC slash MMA fans, have you thought about what this weekend or what that weekend, excuse me, can do for your profile for Montavious Ware as the athlete?
I feel like it can show them that I'm like an all around fighter, not just a boxer. Like I can do elbows, I can do Superman punches, I can do it all. And I'm really gonna show that I am the real BMF to all the UFC guys, all the fighting comeback fans. I am the real BMF. And April the 10th, I'll show them.
I love that, man. I'm curious when you think about. I mean, you talk about elbows and Superman punches in your first fight. I mean, you kind of got him out of there pretty quickly.
Yeah.
You did throw one crazy elbow that connected for sure, and I think it sort of was the catalyst for the beginning of the end. Is that part of the game plan here? Is to mix it up a little more than you had the opportunity to in your first fight?
Yeah, of course. So last fight it I didn't mean for it to end that fast, but it just happened. When my hands just land on somebody's chin, they gonna go down. But I really want to show my skills this fight since it will be a lot of more big people in the crowd. I really want to show my skills more, show them that I can box, show them I can be a dirty boxer and throw elbows, spinning bat fists. I really want to show it all this fight. So I really don't want to just get them out of there. I want to show my skills and show my talent. Straight to the MMA guys so they know like I'm not just a boxer. I can do MMA too. Even though we ain't doing like wrestling, nothing like that. But hey, if they call me, if they need a sparring partner for MMA, I definitely go down there and what I'm saying, pick them up, slam on their head, and then ground and pound.
I love it. I love it. I'm curious when you think about. I mean, just being honest, in the beginning of Lewis's career, he was all right. He was kind of a
Yeah.
500 fighter, more like what I think athletes would consider a journeyman. As he got later in his career, he actually got much better. I mean,
Hmm.
his last. I'm just doing this off the top of my head, but his last 10 fights, he had the draw with Sean Woodson, which there's nothing wrong with that. Sean Woodson's an incredible MMA fighter, but in particularly in the striking department. And then I think he lost to Austin Lingo, if I'm not mistaken. besides that though, it's mostly wins in the last 6 or 7 years in MMA. He had a boxing match just in December, that a pro boxing match that he lost. I don't know if you knew that or saw that. But for you, what do you? I mean, what do you? What's kind of the plan of attack here? What are not that I want you to give me the strategy, but what is
Yeah.
it about him that you're weary of, or kind of like, all right, here's an area that he's really good or he excels.
Mhm. I feel like he a solid opponent, but I feel like it's nothing really I need to worry about. I just gotta be me. That's why I don't really watch too much film, but I watch a little bit, but because I want to show up, I don't want to try to use their style, and that's how I'm gonna fight. I want to always be me and just go out there and do what I do best. So I don't really, I didn't see anything from his past fights that worry me. So I'm just training and doing what I'm gonna do, and what I'm gonna do is get the finish, of course. But I ain't gonna do it too early. I'm gonna make him, you know, I ain't gonna get him in the first round or the second round, maybe in the third round.
Well, you answered my question before I
But
even
if
got
I
to ask
catch
it.
him, in the first round, then I might spare him a little bit. But I wanna drag him.
He's a guy that likes to stay rangy. I noticed, he's really
Yeah.
he tries to kind of not get hit as much as an average MMA fighter I think is willing to. What do you make of that? What's kind of the strategy in response to that?
So I prepare for either way it goes. So if he want to box and move, or if he want to come to me, I'm already ready. I don't just train to just go seek and destroy. I train to box, or I train to go straight to him. So whichever way he come out, that's the way it's gonna go. If he want to box, then we can box, and I'll box him. If he want to brawl, then we can brawl, and I'll brawl him. If he want to box, then I can just brawl. If he want to brawl, then I can just box. I can do whatever I want.
I like that. That confidence is awesome. What do you think a win against a guy like this does for you in your future in DBX? I mean, your division is not super deep just yet, but of course, DBX seems very eager and hungry to introduce titles as much as they're able to. So for you, I mean, what do you think a W here does?
I feel like it really boosts my resume, and because everybody I've been fighting in DBX has got a little backing in the name for them, and a lot of fights. So I feel like it really shows that I'm really here to stay, and I'm really able to compete with all the guys that's been doing it longer than me. Even though I got 4 pro boxing matches, and they got like 20 plus eh, 20 plus MMA fights, it really don't mean anything. It's really the talent and the hard work.
Does the size there's a small height discrepancy. I think you come in around 5'6", he comes in around 5'11". Uh Anything changed with the game plan when you're dealing with somebody a little taller? Alexander Shank was a little closer to your height.
Yeah. Um, Not really, because I've been sparring. I've been 5'6". I've been short my whole life, so I've been have to always, like, if somebody try to box, I gotta brawl with a taller guy. If somebody try to brawl, then I gotta box with the taller guy. It depends on however that guy fight, and however I feel like I can beat him. Like, if a guy cracking, why would I try to brawl with a cracker? I'm a box the cracker. And if I got a guy that's trying to box, then I'll brawl with him if I know he can't do nothing to hurt me. So I feel like with a tall person, I feel like I'm just gifted that I can do whatever I need to win in a fight. I feel like I got the IQ, and I'm smart enough to dictate how I should fight a person. I'm not being cocky or nothing like that, but I feel like it depends on how somebody come out. It don't matter the height or anything like that.
That's awesome, man. Being able to make those adjustments is important, and not every athlete can do it. I think, we saw that when we talked about the last time Jordan Cranio's match against Diego. Like, it just seemed like Jordan didn't really understand how to get around that jab, and
Yeah,
as fundamental of a skill as it is in boxing, it was just something different about it. Maybe he didn't see it coming. He couldn't time it. I'm not really sure
yeah,
what, but he had trouble. He obviously had trouble getting around it, and then he only found his moments when he could catch Diego not really moving when he was supposed to. So I
yeah.
think to that point, adaptation is important. When you think about kind of what's an ideal night, right? I know you talked about preferring to kind of go into the later rounds and be able to showcase more of your skills. But what's a perfect world April 10th? What would be the night if you could plan out the night? What would be the perfect way that this thing goes?
Second round knockout.
Proper knockout or TKO is okay.
Knockout, knockout.
There's not many, so I'll tell you, you have a much higher chance of blowing up the internet when you get somebody out of there clean, like a Jalil
Yeah,
Willis type of knockout. Because it seems like even though they're 4 ounce gloves, for whatever reason, it seems like actual knockouts have been, a little harder to come by. And I also think that there's a little bit of, I don't want to say confusion, but the stand up rule is very unusual. Like there's times that I see guys that I'm like, you should probably stop the fight, but then they say they can stand up, and then even the athlete is
right,
kind of like, oh wait, you telling me I can stand up? This is awesome. And they get
right.
up and they're all like drunken sailor and trying to
Yeah.
put their dukes up, and then the next one puts them away. Um, he
I
he
will
did
say,
something.
sorry,
Go ahead. Yeah,
sorry
yeah.
to cut you off. I am on 1%. Sorry.
Okay, no worries. So I'll ask
Yeah.
my last question. If Luis Saldana is watching this interview, what do you want to say to him?
I want to say just thank you for giving for accepting the fight, and let's put on the show.
Awesome, man. Well, I look forward to seeing you once again during fight week in Miami. Best of luck in the remainder of your training camp. If you're cutting weight, cut weight safe, and make
Yes,
sure you
sir.
travel safe. And we'll see you there April 10th fight week.
Thank you. God bless.
Thanks, brother. You too.